These are things that I'm seeing over and over again in new books that I wasn't seeing when I was reading brand new books off of the same websites, NetGalley, 5 years ago that I am now. These things also seem to be happening in books that I haven't read, which is why I am assuming that they are some sort of trend that we could perhaps put a stop to. Here's the first thing. I know that instant love is a trope that some people are into, especially in romance books. If you are labeling your book as fantasy or dark fantasy, then I am expecting growth between the characters, time for their love to grow and develop somewhat realistically, rather than someone just immediately locking eyes and being in love. And even if there's something like some sort of fated mates or a magical bond, something like that, that's fine. But these people should have feelings outside of that. If you were suddenly fated to be in love with someone and you had never met them before, and especially if they were a jerk to you on the first date, probably you wouldn't be immediately all hot under the collar about it, and especially you wouldn't be immediately in love with them. The second thing I'm going to talk about is character voice. I feel like maybe people aren't going out in public as much as they used to because a lot of people seem to have trouble writing characters who sound different from one another, who talk differently, who have different turns of phrase. If every single character sounds identical in my head, I'm going to get them confused. And another thing with character voice is every line doesn't need to be a mic drop. It doesn't need to be speaking to someone's soul at the end of every single paragraph. Every line doesn't need to be some Marvel quip between one character and another. The third and final thing I'm going to talk about today is, there's this thing called white room syndrome in writing, where the reader cannot picture what you are talking about because you're not giving enough description to say, like, the room, or they just see two characters in a white room doing something. The issue I'm seeing a lot of is white world syndrome, where you're doing a fine job of describing the character, fine job of describing the room that they are currently in, but I don't have any context of what's happening in the world outside of them, and you don't give it to me. If this is a world where people have familiars, animal companions, then that should be casually mentioned as something that happens a lot, or casually mentioned as something that rarely happens. And so two people come together who have them. Wow, that's crazy. You don't have to info dump how your magic system works to me, but I need something. You can't just be, you've got runes and you've got sigils and you've got random casting from the heart and you've got casting that comes from a bond between two people. I need at least a hint at how the magic system works so that I can better understand what each character is doing. Are there consequences to the magic that they are doing? Is it costly? Is it difficult to do? If there are mages and they come up on page 100, how is a mage different from the casting that your main characters are doing? If there's a war between two different countries and the only things I know is they're of different races, that's not really a good reason for a war. Not really. Something would have sparked that politically. And if I don't know anything about the politics of the countries, then maybe you should write a smaller story that does not involve worldwide conflict. And that's not an insult. That's just, maybe your story is meant to be smaller. Not everyone needs to save the whole world. Maybe you could just save the village this time. Anyway, hope that helps. Bye.